Hey, what's going on, everyone? Sly here with D. And D, we saw what Devonte Wyatt said about Brock Purdy. If you guys missed it, it's a little clip, but check this out and we'll talk about it, man.
They're a quick pass team. They get the ball. He sees his read. He's throwing it. If we get that pressure in his face real fast and throw it off, he gonna overthrow or underthrow it, and that's like a big opportunity or anything. And he's low with the ball, so we can bat the ball down a lot.
All right, dude. So he's a good player. He's a first-round pick. I think the 28th pick from Georgia. And I love Georgia guys. You know, we have Robert Beal, champion, two-time champion over there. But out there, it's kind of ballsy, man, talking this much trash about a guy you're about to play. Pretty much kind of saying he's like a little guy because like, oh, he's down. Yeah. He's down. So, we could bat a lot of balls down. So what do you think about this? Do you think this is bulletin board material?
I think it's gonna bite him in the foot, man. I think it's gonna fucking come back to haunt him because let's be realistic. Props to Green Bay getting this far, and they won like 3 out of like their or like 5 out of their like 4 games. Oh, like something crazy. They had like
6 out of 7, I think.
Yeah, they had like a good like win streak, but at the end of the day, let's look at who they beaten, man. Yeah. Okay. I'll give them, even though they have a shit defense, they beat Detroit at their house, all right? But Detroit, they've been like proven that their defense is not elite, that you've been able to score on them. And so with that was a good win from them. But again, Detroit doesn't have the best defense, even though they have a really good offense. Kansas City too. Kansas City's been up and down. Even though I picked them to be one of the favorites to go back to the Super Bowl because they have the easiest route in the AFC, they just had to get to Baltimore. But besides that, what's it called? They beat Carolina. They beat Minnesota, man. It's like a catastrophe there. Then they lost their last, I think they went like 2-2 at the end of the season. They lost 2 games and won 2 games at the end. And so they were really like 500 toward the end of the season. And I know they're a good team at the end of the day, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys, man. And I've been saying it, man. I know that you were saying that Dak is a good quarterback, but that Dak is ass, man. When it comes to the playoffs, the Cowboys, they always fold. Michael Parsons is nowhere to be found. Dak chokes under pressure. CeeDee Lamb just can't get connected with his quarterback. He's the only guy out there. And Jerry Jones, man, he doesn't want the spotlight. He doesn't really give a damn, who's the head coach, what team, who's quarterback. He just cares about having the spotlight, man. So the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They're going to always be that team that's always going to talk a lot of shit, but then they produce nothing. So good win on their part, but at the end of the day, we're the Niners. And I've been saying it, the only team that's really going to beat us is ourselves, man. And with our head coach, getting too trigger happy. If we had one of the best running backs in the game, if we run the ball with him early on, we start doing those check passes with Brock Purdy, start getting Debo involved, get everybody feeding it. The only reason we lose is we start making stupid plays. And what I'm talking about is with Baltimore, when we're just throwing the ball, when I felt like Shanahan was trying to make a statement with Brock Purdy, just constantly just throwing it instead of just doing the simple plays. That was going to back us. That's what's going to help us lose. But if we just actually play 49er football, if we just stick to the game plan, run the ball, get Debo involved, Brock Purdy does what he does, fuck, I feel like they could really kill freaking the Packers, man. I feel like they can make a statement. But again, that's what I feel about the Packers. I think they're a good team, but I think this is the end of the road for them.
Here's the thing about the trash talking. Devonte Wyatt. He's someone that, he's a young dude, obviously, but if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. And this year, he really hasn't. You know who leads the NFL in missed tackles, a defensive lineman? Devonte Wyatt. So if you're out there talking your trash, you got to back it up. And it seems like every time someone does this, every time someone goes after a big star, it always backfires. The thing that reminds me the most of that is when LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, they're out there making fun of Dirk Nowitzki in the finals and coughing, pretend making fun of him because he's sick. And what happens? Karma always comes back to bite you in the ass. And I think that's what's going to happen. I really do feel that the offensive line, obviously they've heard this. So they're going to do everything in their power to protect this guy. And when they run, they're gonna run right at Devonte at Wyatt because he's not a good against the run. He's actually really horrible against the run, and that's what we're known for. We love running the damn ball. He is actually a pretty good pass rusher. I think in PFF he grades in the 60s, so he's not the worst. But I think we're gonna target this guy. I really do. I think people eat their words, man. It seems like it happens all the time. Micah Parsons, man, he was talking all that trash about, Purdy and stuff, and then out there, and then against the Lions, he literally almost drops an egg when he gets offsides, and they should have lost that game.
They should have lost that game.
And it was Micah Parsons. He's talking all this stuff, and it doesn't work, So I mean, to me, it always happens. Like you're always going after the like quarterback or something, and then it comes back and it rears its round head. And I don't know, maybe it does pump up these players. I hear that the bulletin board material doesn't work anymore. Like it's all washed, but the people read it, they hear it. And the Niners a few weeks ago when they were playing the Eagles, both teams were chirping back and forth. Niners guys, and then obviously Reddick and the Eagles were chirping. So something had to give.
Yeah.
And then the Niners, man, they just freaking owned them. And Reddick, that was talking the most trash, had probably his worst game of the season. They were running right at him, and he was just getting worked. He was just getting so frustrated out there. So it's gonna happen, man. It happens all the time. So for me, hearing this trash talk, it is bulletin board material. I think no matter what, the Niners do match up well against them. And to me, I would not be talking trash if I can't back it up and your defense can back it up. Remember, right now they're 17th ranked defense in the NFL. So they're not good. They're not a good defense. They've been getting towards, I think they're like 27th in DVOA, which that's the metric they usually use. So they're like pretty horrible defense, and their defensive coordinator, the fans, they want his head. They want him out of there. Joe Barry, they want his ass gone. So, I mean, he's trying to do everything to save his life. And as good as they played against the Cowboys, they gave up over 400 plus.
They can't close out the game. That's what I noticed.
They were getting worked, Even at the end of the game, like the Cowboys had a chance to cut it to one score game with like 2 minutes left in the damn game. So, I mean, and they right now, as far as the playoff goes, they're the worst team in the playoffs as far as the stat wise. They're the worst team because they were just getting torched. They gave up more yards actually than the Cowboys did on defense. So to me, I go ahead, keep talking. Doesn't matter. I think our guys will be ready. Everyone is talking about maybe this might be the Niners-Vikings game in the 1980s where we were the number one offense, number one defense, and we lost. I don't feel it with our guys. I feel our guys are hungry. They want it. And all this talking that's going on, whether it's the media, the talking heads, you got Mark Morris saying we got to knock out Purdy, do cheap shots. And then you got the players actually saying stuff. I think all this stuff is adding up. And I think our guys are ready to hit somebody. And I know Kyle Shanahan, he's going to be drawing up all the plays he can because I think we're ready, man. I think we're ready. But what else?
Just going back to two things I wanted to touch on. So you brought up the Cowboys game. That was one thing I really noticed about that game was that one, they don't know how to close out a game. So you saw that because they took out the starters and then they had to throw the starters back in there because the Cowboys are coming back. And again, but you could even tell at the beginning of the game though that something was just off. That once the game started and the Packers had their first drive, you could just feel like the momentum was just on their side. I don't know what it is, but whenever in Texas, whenever it's a playoffs, everybody just shrinks, man. And you saw like Dak didn't know what to do. He was locking eyes with CD the whole time, got picked off. They were dropping passes. People were just like not making plays. Tony Pollard, man, I can't believe they picked that guy over Zeke, man, because that guy was just trash this year. And so, again, give credit because they got the W, but at the same time, like, to me, it wasn't. I saw a lot of mistakes that they made as far as like letting them come back. They didn't close out the game, and they faced a team that when it comes to playoffs, they just never show up. And going back to compare it to our worst game, let's be real, man. Besides us, and we dealt with a lot of injuries, Baltimore has one of the best defense in the league. Besides us, they're probably one of the best teams in the league. That's not the Packers, man. The Packers barely made it in by barely like an inch in the playoffs. They're not that really elite, and they're not going to have the defense just like Baltimore does. So when he starts talking about like, oh, we'll be batting passes, we'll get the pressure on him, he'll be throwing off his back foot, he'll be running for his life. It's like, no, dude, like you guys aren't him, man. Like Brock Purdy, we don't have the best offensive line, but man, his IQ is one of the best in the game. I think that's what helps him stand away from like going to like Nick Wright. I think he's really on like the top tier, like the Mahomes mountain, because dude, his IQ is just like, it's crazy. Just the way he just like reads the coverage, is able to adapt. He sees things, he makes plays, he breaks out from the pressure. And man, like I think this is our year, man. This has to be. I think the only way we lose is just we shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't play 49er ball.
This reminds me, and I always love doing boxing analogies. This reminds me of like a boxer that knows he can't win, but he's gonna talk trash before the fight. Someone like Ricardo Mayorga, who's out there, you
or
know,
like Raleigh.
anyone out there that's just talking trash and just doing it. And if they talk all this trash, they think maybe I'm right talking all this trash. Like maybe it's gonna happen, but in the end of the day, it never does happen, and it always comes back to bite you in the ass, you know. So to me, that's what it reminds me of. It's someone out there that knows that they can't do it, but they're still gonna talk that trash, and they hope it's gonna work, but it just doesn't. That's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna fall short, and it keeps happening, man. Right now, the media, a lot of these people, like the lady, what her name, Trask today, that was saying that Brock Purdy's the worst quarterback, the only quarterback that's not great in the playoffs, all this crazy talk. It's going to come back, man. It just seems like it is that perfect situation where you talk about this dude so much in a negative way from the media, everybody, the players, the fans. It's going to come back and bite you, man. We said this all week, and it's going to continue. This is going to be the theme. Judgment Day is coming, and it's coming for everybody that's been talking that trash. So be ready, baby.
And I think that we're going to make a statement. We're going to get that W. And I'm ready for the next quarterback, because who's going to be left? Who is it? It's Jared Goff and Baker. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be the next person. Because right now, you already see in the media, right now, they're like, Jordan Love is the elite quarterback. This guy's the new Mahomes, basically in the NFC, that he's going to go all the way to the Super Bowl run. Once we take him out, it's going to be now Baker, Goff, who's like actually the next elite star. Because they're never going to give Brock Purdy his dues, man. They're going to keep talking smack about him until, even if he like wins a playoff, they'll be like, well, he didn't do it by himself. So the hate's always going to be there, but I can't wait for the Saturday, man.
Yeah, man, but that's what we got. Let us know what you think about these comments from the defensive guy, dude. I don't even want to say his name anymore, man, from Georgia. But let us know what you think about what he said. Like, comment, subscribe, and get ready, man. Less than 40 hours away. Talk to you next time. Peace.